My wife screamed, "I wish I'd married Chris instead, at least he's a real man." I whispered, "You still can." Then I texted Chris a screenshot of her message. What he replied made her lock herself in the bathroom. I, 31 male, was washing dishes when my wife Tessa, 29, screamed at me during another fight about money. We'd been married for 4 years. The context. I'd suggested we skip her cousin's destination wedding because we needed new tires and our AC was broken. Apparently, this made me less of a man than Chris, her ex who she dated for 3 years before me. Chris would never make me miss family events. He actually provided for his woman. God, I wish I'd married him instead. At least he's a real man. I turned off the water, dried my hands slowly, looked at her and whispered, "You still can." She laughed. "What? You still can marry Chris? I won't stop you." Before she could respond, I pulled out my phone and did something petty. I took a screenshot of our Ring camera that had recorded her whole rant, audio included, and texted it to Chris with, "Your ex says she wishes she married you instead. Interested?" Tessa was still ranting about how Chris bought his current girlfriend a Tesla when my phone buzzed. Chris replied, "LMAO, is this real? Bro, I broke up with her because she maxed out 3 of my credit cards and told my mom I was cheap. Tell her I'm good. Actually, show her this." He sent another text. "P.S. that Tesla she's talking about. It's a 2015 Honda Civic. Tessa always did live in fantasy land. Good luck with that mess." I showed Tessa my phone. She read it once, twice. Her face went from red to white. Then she ran to the bathroom and locked herself in. Through the door, I could hear her crying and calling someone. 20 minutes later, she came out, grabbed her purse and left without a word. That was 3 days ago. And that's when the real circus began. Update 1. Tessa didn't come home for 2 days. Stayed at her sister Simone's place. But she wasn't just hiding. She was plotting. First, she went on Facebook and posted this masterpiece. Sometimes you don't realize you're in an abusive relationship until someone shows you how petty and vindictive your partner really is. Reaching out to my ex to humiliate me. That's a new low. Considering my options. Her mom, Darlene, commented immediately. "Baby, come home. You don't deserve this treatment." Her dad, Frank. "That boy never deserved you." But here's the thing about public posts. Sometimes the truth shows up. Chris's girlfriend, Bella, commented. "Wait, is this the same Tessa who'd met my boyfriend last month, asking if he ever thinks about what could have been, the one he had to block? That Tessa." The comment got deleted, but not before I screenshot it. Then Tessa made her first mistake. She tried to access our savings account. Not to take money. She couldn't, it was only in my name. But she wanted to see how much was there. How do I know? Because the bank called me about unusual login attempts from her phone. She was planning something. That evening, she came home with Simone and her mom. Full intervention mode. "We need to talk about your behavior," Darlene started. "My behavior?" "Contacting Chris was abuse," Simone chimed in. "Emotional abuse. Interesting. Tessa, did you tell them about last month?" Tessa's eyes widened. "What about last month? When you'd met Chris asking if he thinks about what could have been, his girlfriend mentioned it." Dead silence. Darlene turned to Tessa. "You told me he was the one dwelling on the past." "Mom, it's not like that." I pulled out my phone. "I also have screenshots of you texting your coworker, Jordan, about how attractive he is. From 2 weeks ago. Want me to continue?" Simone looked disgusted. "Tessa. What the hell?" They left after Tessa promised this was all a misunderstanding and we just needed space. But that night, while I was sleeping on the couch. My choice. I heard her on the phone. "I need $5,000, just until I can figure things out." "No, I can't ask him." "Please, Daddy." Frank said no. I heard her slam her phone down. Update 2 yesterday, Tessa escalated in the most entitled way possible. She called my mom. My mom. Crying about how I was financially controlling her and isolating her from support. My mom, bless her, called me immediately. "Jake. Tessa just called saying you won't let her access money. Mom, she has her own checking account with her paychecks. She wants access to my savings that I had before we got married. Oh, she left that part out. She also left out that she's been texting her ex and calling her coworker hot. I see. Want me to handle this? Do what you think is best, Mom. My mom called Tessa back and apparently said, "Sweetheart, I raised my son to respect his partner, but I also raised him not to be a doormat. Stop calling me with lies or I'll start telling people about the time you borrowed $200 for my purse at Christmas and never paid it back." Tessa was furious. She came home screaming about how I'd turned everyone against her. Everyone? I've talked to literally no one except showing you Chris's text. You told your mom lies. I told her the truth. You're mad because your lies didn't work. Then she dropped the bomb. I want a divorce. And I want half of everything. Okay. Okay. That's it. Yeah. Okay. File the papers. She was expecting a fight. Begging. Something. Instead, I started looking up divorce lawyers on my phone right in front of her. You're not even going to try to save this? She screeched. Save what? A marriage where you wish you'd married someone else? Where you're texting other men? Nah. I'm good. She grabbed her phone and called someone. Daddy. He's giving up on us. He's not even fighting for our marriage. I could hear Frank sigh through the phone. Tessa, you literally told him you wished you'd married someone else. But he's supposed to fight for me. Why? So you can keep treating him like garbage. No, sweetheart. You made this bed. She hung up on her own father. Update 3. Tessa tried to play the victim card hard this week. First, she posted on Instagram that she was going through a difficult time and needed support and prayers. She set up a Venmo with the caption, "Rebuilding after betrayal." Someone sent her $20. It was Chris. With the note, "For therapy. You need it." She blocked him everywhere and had a meltdown. Then came the workplace drama. We work at different companies, but apparently, she'd been telling her coworkers I was abusive and controlling. One of them, Destiny, reached out to me on LinkedIn of all places. "Hey Jake, I don't know you but I work with Tessa. She's been saying some concerning things and asking people to loan her money for an escape fund. Just thought you should know she's claiming you monitor her accounts and won't let her leave." But then she showed up yesterday in a new Michael Kors bag. So, something doesn't add up. A new bag. While claiming she needed money to escape. I thanked Destiny and forwarded the message to my lawyer. That afternoon, Tessa's coworker Jordan, yes, the hot one, showed up at our apartment. "Bro, we need to talk." "We really don't. Your wife is telling everyone at work that you're dangerous. She asked me to let her stay at my place." I laughed. And my girlfriend is pregnant and pissed." Tessa knew that. "She's trying to cause problems because I rejected her last month." "You rejected her?" "Yeah. She came on to me at the office happy hour. I shut it down. Now she's trying to blow up my relationship." I asked if he'd be willing to tell this to a lawyer. He said absolutely. That evening, Tessa came home with shopping bags. Plural. Retail therapy. I asked. "I deserve nice things after what you've put me through." "What I've put you through? You mean showing your ex what you said about him? You humiliated me. You humiliated yourself. I just provided evidence." She threw a shoe at me. Missed. Hit the TV. Cracked the screen. "That's coming out of your half," I said calmly. She screamed and stomped to the bedroom. Update 4. The lawyer meeting started. Tessa hired Lawrence, who apparently was the best divorce attorney in town according to her Google search. My lawyer, Denise. She actually laughed when she heard who Tessa hired. Lawrence. He's good at billing. Not so good at winning when his client has no case. We met for mediation. Tessa showed up in a full designer outfit, new jewelry, fresh mani-pedi, while claiming she needed alimony because she couldn't maintain her lifestyle without me. Denise pulled out receipts. "Your client spent $3,400 on clothing and accessories in the past week while claiming financial hardship." Lawrence looked at Tessa. You spent what? I needed to look professional for these meetings. You needed $3,400 worth of professional. The mediator, an older woman named Dorothy, wasn't having it. Ma'am, you're employed full-time, have no children, and the marriage lasted 4 years. What exactly is your hardship? He emotionally abused me. How? He contacted my ex. After you said you wished you'd married him instead. Silence. Denise pulled out more papers. We also have statements from Jordan Martinez and Destiny Williams regarding your advances toward Mr. Martinez and your false claims about my client. Tessa turned white. How did you? They came forward voluntarily. Apparently, you've been causing problems at their workplace. Lawrence asked for a recess. I could hear him outside. You hit on someone at work. And lied about abuse. Do you understand how this looks? When they came back, Lawrence said they'd consider a clean split. No alimony. Each keeps their own accounts and debts. No, Tessa said. I deserve compensation for my pain and suffering. Dorothy actually snorted. Pain and suffering. Ma'am, this is a no-fault divorce state. And even if it wasn't, you're the one who said you wanted someone else. We left without an agreement. Update 5. Tessa's entitlement reached peak levels this week. She decided if she couldn't get money from me legally, she'd try other methods. She started selling our stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Except it wasn't ours. It was mine. My gaming console. My guitar. My signed baseball collection. All posted for sale. One problem. I work from home Fridays. I caught her loading my guitar into some dude's truck. That's theft, Tessa. It's communal property. I bought it 5 years before we met. I have the receipt. The buyer looked uncomfortable. Look, man, I don't want any trouble. No trouble. This is stolen property. I'm calling the cops. He unloaded the guitar and left immediately. Tessa was livid. You cost me that sale. You tried to sell my guitar. The cops arrived. I showed them receipts, photos of me with the items from before our marriage, the Facebook listings. Tessa tried to claim it was a misunderstanding. They gave her a warning but told her one more incident would mean arrest. That night, she called Chris again. From our landline. At 1 a.m. I know because I heard her through the bedroom door. Chris, I know I messed up. But we were good together once. Can't we try again? I couldn't hear his response, but I heard her. Your girlfriend doesn't have to know. Oh, you're married now. Since when? Last month. You didn't post about it. Oh, you blocked me. She hung up and cried for an hour. Final update: the divorce was finalized yesterday. Here's how it all shook out. Tessa made one last desperate play. She showed up to court claiming she was pregnant. My lawyer immediately requested proof. I don't have the test with me, Tessa said. The judge, who was already over this case, ordered a recess for her to get proof. She came back with a pregnancy test that she tried to take in the courthouse bathroom. It was negative. Your Honor, my client appears to be having an emotional breakdown, Lawrence said, looking exhausted. The judge wasn't sympathetic. Ms. Wilson, you've wasted this court's time with false claims, attempted theft, and now a phantom pregnancy. Here's my ruling. Clean split. Each party keeps their premarital assets and their own debts. Given Ms. Wilson's behavior, she will pay Mr. Wilson $1,200 for the damaged television and attempted theft of his property. What? I have to pay him. You're lucky he's not pressing criminal charges. Any objection to this ruling, Counselor? Lawrence shook his head. No, Your Honor. Outside the courthouse, Tessa had her final meltdown. In front of everyone. You ruined my life. I gave you the best years of my life. 4 years, Tessa, and you spent them wishing you were with someone else. Darlene tried to calm her down. Honey, let's just go. No, he needs to know what he's losing. I know exactly what I'm losing. Someone who called me not a real man, who hit on her coworker, who lied about abuse, and who tried to steal my stuff. I'm devastated. Even Frank looked done. Tessa, enough. You did this. The best part. Jordan and Destiny were there as witnesses. Jordan's pregnant girlfriend was with him. She walked up to Tessa. "You tried to ruin my relationship because my men rejected you. You're pathetic." Tessa tried to respond, but Bella, Chris's wife, pulled up with Chris. They weren't there for court. The courthouse also does marriage licenses. They were picking up certified copies for their honeymoon. "Tessa," Bella said, surprised. "Oh, right, your divorce. Chris, isn't this the ex who keeps calling you?" Chris looked uncomfortable. "Let's just go, babe." "Wait," Bella said, turning to me. "You're Jake. The one who warned Chris about her texts." "Thank you. That helped us decide to elope instead of waiting. Didn't want any drama at our wedding." They left hand in hand. Tessa stood there watching her ex-boyfriend walk away with his new wife while she'd just been divorced and ordered to pay me money. She didn't even cry. Just stood there in shock. As of now, Tessa moved back with her parents. She was fired from her job for creating a hostile work environment. Jordan filed a complaint. Chris and Bella are on their honeymoon in Greece. She posted photos. Jordan and his girlfriend are doing great. I kept the apartment, my stuff, and my sanity. Last week, I ran into Simone at a coffee shop. She apologized for taking Tessa's side initially. She's my sister, but she's always been like this. Always wanting what others have, never appreciating what she had. You're better off. I know. She's still talking about Chris, you know. Shows us his wedding photos, saying, that should have been me. But she had her chance with him. And with me. Yeah, but Tessa doesn't want what she has. She wants what she can't have. Always has. Yesterday, I got a text from an unknown number. "Jake, I'm sorry, can we talk?" I replied no. Then blocked it. I'm doing good now. Started therapy to process everything, healthily, unlike buying $3,400 in clothes. Joined a hiking group. Even went on a date last week with a woman named Carmen, who laughed when I told her this story and said, "At least my ex just stole my Netflix password." To everyone asking if I regret texting Chris, nope. He deserved to know his ex was still obsessed, and his response ended her fantasy immediately. The most ironic part? If Tessa had just been honest about being unhappy instead of cruel, we could have divorced amicably. Instead, she lost everything chasing a fantasy that never existed. But hey, at least she's got those designer bags to keep her company. Edit. Stop asking for Tessa's Instagram. Let her rebuild in peace. Edit 2. Yes, Chris and Bella really got married that fast. They'd been together for 2 years, and Tessa's harassment pushed them to elope. Edit 3. No, I'm not dating Carmen seriously yet. It was one date. I'm taking time to heal properly.